Well, I'll be heading back to California tomorrow, so this is my last trip over to Fire Island. This will be the start of your video. It's going to be a lot of strung together clips from a couple of different days, because I've been here 3 times. There's our ferry, where we get on. I walked over here. Most people either come by car or train or whatever, so here we go. Over there's the Cherry Grove boat getting ready to leave. Both leave at the same time. There's the Pines boat. There's the river we're going to go down. And we're going to ride up on the deck here. So there's our destination. Sailor's Haven Ferry crossing in front of us. There it is. That's the Pines. And we're just about out of the channel here. This is Land's End. Pretty full boat for 9:30 in the morning, but it is Friday. There you can see one of the carts and the boardwalks as we pull into the harbor. It's only about 25 minutes going fast, about a half hour total from the time the ferry leaves till it gets here. There's Pines Pantry, that's where I used to work in 1988 and 89. I live in the town that we took the boat from. There's low tea. Party starts in the afternoon. There's the pool bar behind it. I'm gonna go there later. There's the motel. Here's this huge boat that these guys have been here longer than I have. I don't even know how many years. And there's the rebuilt in the last couple of years Pavillion. And we come to the harbor and you see this. Well, it's pretty early. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, but there's some people waiting. Every time the boat comes in, there's a little gathering at the dock. And it spreads out with the canteen, restaurant, store. Oh, the pool bar is actually behind there. There's the boatel, the hotel over there, the little cabanas you can hang out in. Bar. Which is pretty cool. And you see, we just kind of pull in and Sayville's back there, about 6 miles. We'll take a walk around the beach and stuff in a little bit here. Let's give you another little shot of the club. And at night, high tea starts, I think at 8 o'clock up on there. And then there's a club inside as well. It's daytime, so it's empty, but we've got to get a quick view of the harbor from up at high tea. Low tea down the walk there starts at 4. That's the mob scene, and then at 8, high tea happens, and this place will be a mob scene for a little while, and then just keeps going everywhere. You can see Long Island out there. That's my town. Sayville. Now this is a nice place to get a drink, huh? It's only open at night though. But even during the week when it's quiet in the Pines, the high tea and low tea still get relatively crowded. There's where the ferry comes in. Here's a different angle on the harbor. It's going to be a little windy, but it's hot and muggy out here. So nice. So this is a relatively recent addition. This is a disability access cart. Some of you might know one of my jobs is working for disabled people, so I'm pretty happy to see that this is here for people who are in wheelchairs or just too old or whatever, unable to walk around very well because there are no cars. It's all boardwalks. Yeah, so you'll see a few cars over there, but they have to use the dirt road to go, I don't know, it's like 20 or 30 miles to the next bridge. Only a very few workers can have permits to drive around, and the police. That's our police station right over there. They also have some quads, you know, little ATVs they drive around on. And there's the police. This has got to be one of the best police gigs on the planet. Patrolling around here. And Fire Island National Seashore is actually part of the national park system. Yep. I'm still hiking in a park, even though it's a hike in a Resort town, primarily gay resort town. I'm straight, but whatever. Yeah, you might notice that if you're a gay person watching this, I sound a little extra straight, but I grew up here, I just work here. This is the cart parking lot. You have to get a registration to park here, but a lot of people who rent houses, they get these carts, and that way you can lug your groceries and luggage and things back and forth on this. And there's a little shelter because it does rain here in the summertime. So we have shelters for when it's raining. There go the police with the gas for the ATVs probably, and over there are some more stores, the pizza places over there. And we'll get a look at there in a little bit. Oh, and here comes another little cart. This is how workers get around. Private people can't buy one of these, but workers can. I got to drive one a few times back when I was working at the grocery store. The grocery store, you can get your stuff delivered. If you go up to the counter and just tell them I want my packages delivered, they'll box it up and send it to your house for you. Let's take a look down the boardwalk. Just want to show you folks the Pines Pantry real fast. This is where I worked in 1988 and 89. Meat market over there. There's Eric, the owner, who went from working here to owning it. And I'll tell you folks, don't be a schlepper. You don't want to be one of those idiots who brings all their groceries on the boat and gets laughed at. You come in here and buy your groceries when you come to the Pines. This place is great and everything is fresh and high quality. Okay folks, I just noticed something kind of interesting. See, now this building had burned down a few years ago and was rebuilt. The last time I was here was the first year it was open, and I'll have to try and throw in a picture on this video at some point. You can see the wood has turned pretty gray, and that's kind of the state of all the wood out here. They use, I'm not sure what type of wood it is, but because of the salt air, it's pointless to finish it. It'll just get destroyed by the salt air, and the wood turns this kind of interesting gray color. You can just barely see how the underside of that beam is still natural color, and the outside is gray. It hasn't fully transformed into the classic Pines Fire Island wood tone, but it's getting there. You can see the dock is all one color. But yeah, I'll try and throw in a picture from when it was brand new. Alright folks, well that was really nice. Eric over at the pantry gave me my soda for free since I used to work there, and give him a little plug there. Oh, yeah, please, yeah, if you're coming out here, buy your groceries at the pantry. Don't bring them. So now I wanted to show you, there's the Bay Harbor right there, and we're going to keep the camera running for a few minutes. I want you to see just how narrow this island really is. It's pretty amazing, Fire Island, how it's a narrow strip. We can see nice houses here. This isn't even since we're so close to the harbor, this is almost like the not the rich part of it, but I mean it's all expensive. But there is some condos up here. Like these are your entryways, and you can see here like the wood on this one is brand new. It's still got that regular wood tone. And the gentleman back at the harbor I was talking to, see, this is how you have your entry off of the boardwalk. But the gentleman at the harbor I was talking to mentioned, it told me that it's called, they call it silvering, is what this, when the wood, there's a lot of bamboo fences. But when the wood turns this gray, well, it's actually silver.
Potato salad and probably some greens.
So that's called silvering. You can't really, I guess theoretically you could coat the wood to prevent the silvering, but it's somewhat of a lost cause out here because of the salt air will just strip any coating right off of anything. So you can see everything has this silver gray color. Well, there's an example for you of, there's a house that's brand new with the new wall around it. Stuff gets built and rebuilt so fast here. An upgrade. Now this is what I was talking about the These are the co-ops, which are rentable and slightly reasonable. Everything is expensive here, but these are not too terribly expensive to rent a place in for a week or so, or whatever you want. There are a lot of different ways to rent. There's the hotel, and there's all these houses, and they have all these different sort of plans where you can rent a weekend or a week or a block of weeks or a block of weekends, a block of weekends plus a week. It's endless options if you've got a few $1,000s to spend on rent, which it'll be worth it out here. And there we are. We are at the ocean. You saw how far we walked. That did not take very long at all, and we're at the ocean. The beach is it's not a very wide beach, but it's, you know, the sand's real soft, and it goes on for miles and miles in both directions. You can see they're setting up for the Emerald City, one of these big fundraising parties on the beach. That's the setup for it. It's not until next week, I think. And we still, even though it's mostly gay dudes, for us straight people, there's girls on the beach. Those are the co-ops. One of the easier places to rent. Good little crowd here. I'm gonna walk a little further down. We'll show you some more of the beach in a little while. But yeah, do you believe that? This whole island is just that wide. What did that take me? A minute and a half, 2 minutes to walk across here? Alright. So we're back in the harbor. That's really short, and I figure I'll show you the rest of this building. We've got Pines Pizza over here, which is fantastic. Liquor stores here somewhere, I think. And up there on that deck is the Sip and Twirl in the early evenings. There's a party up there. Some more stores. Yeah, that'll get cranking with music and a bar, and there's also an indoor part of the club. And the Bayside Boardwalks. Yeah, this whole building burned a few years ago, and they rebuilt it nice and quick. Got it all built back up again. Again, over here you can see the very few cars on the island belong to contractors, and they can use this Fire Island Boulevard to drive a long ways down the beach, sand, dirt road, sandy road, to a bridge somewhere. And we're gonna walk out this way to Cherry Grove. It's about 1.5 miles to Cherry Grove, the next town. So we're gonna walk down the boardwalk here. Over here we can see the little propane tanks. That's how almost everybody has gas in their houses. A little propane for their stoves and heaters when they need it. And there's your little garbage sheds. And every property, that's how you access the properties, is they have a little boardwalk and a little gate. Very few are like this one here, doesn't have a gate on the boardwalk. But the vast majority, they have fences to keep out the deer, because the deer will eat everything in your garden if you have one. And we're gonna keep going down. Look at these places, huh? Fantastic. There's always lots of workmen all around cleaning up pools and making additions. Now we're heading towards the Bayside. And yeah, 1 or 2 of them just haven't opened, but most places have some sort of gated entry like this. Might as well show you here. We're coming up to an intersection. Down Bay Walk, there's some guys working. Oh, look at this entryway, huh? Look at this place. Here's another place that hasn't turned silver yet. So I guess even if I don't find the photo of Pavillion, you get the idea. Here you can see the boardwalk's been redone. This huge place is one of my favorites. Looks like they changed the garden around some. Look at how big it is. And see the deck from the boardwalk to the deck. And then that boardwalk keeps walking up. Look at that garden, huh? What a place. Not bad for a summer weekend place. Of course, well, we might as well go out and take a look at the bay so you can see. You know, compared to out west, everything still here seems like a deal. I mean, these big places, that's probably 2 million, maybe 3, but you can only imagine, you know, in California that'd be more like 10 or 15 million to be on this kind of waterfront. And yeah, there's Long Island back there. You can even see there's Sayville. That water tower is just past my mom's house. Only about 6 miles across the water. There are lots of swimming pools at these houses, even though we're at the beach. People like to have their own fresh water. The pool right at the house, why not, right? Up there is Whitehall. That was built, I think it was finished about 8 years ago, because I remember seeing it under construction in 2007. As you can see, it's fully silvered. They have community theater and events and fundraisers here. I'll tell you, you know, I tried to give you a better view, but there really isn't one. It's very much surrounded by trees and stuff, but it's a big hall that they have fancy fundraisers and concerts and things like that at. And we are almost to the west end of the Pines, right up ahead here. Here's another good example of, well, we got a new boardwalk, and see there's the boardwalk that leads out to the house and the little gate that is your entry to that house. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday, but quite a few people out, parties getting planned and prepared from the sound of it. Just up ahead there is the end of the boardwalk and the end of the Pines. I really like this one. They've got, it's a little overgrown with algae, but they basically got marshy bay water, and then the boardwalk crosses that, and just a little blockade, and the house is back there. And so this is the end of the Pines. There's a boardwalk going up to the ocean. And then this is the dirt trail that goes through. This is the world famous meat rack where you can see here's a power truck. I don't imagine a whole lot is going on at 10 o'clock in the morning, but sometimes there's parties back here at night, and this is where people go for, let's see, anonymous meetups. I mean, I want to keep it a little bit clean here because I don't know what kind of people are going to watch this video, but you know, if you're looking to have a good time back here anonymously, there are little side trails. I'll try and show you one, and people just kind of go off in the side trail and wait for someone else to show up. And then, you know, this is a primarily gay community, so you can just try and figure it out from there. Now when you get to here, you have two options. You can go out that way, which goes to the beach and the main trail, and you can go, or you can go this way, which I love it. I mean, yeah, this is the meat rock, whatever, but it's beautiful through here. We've got a little swamp. And look at this. Is this fantastic or what? And it's about a mile through here. Maybe it's 2 miles total from the harbor and the Pines to the harbor and the Grove. Maybe a little less. People here who aren't used to walking think it's a long ways. You can see what kind of progress we're making. We're most of the way there already. You can also walk down the beach, but this is probably the most convenient, easiest to walk on path. You just want to be a little careful if you're not trying to meet somebody back here. Little side paths like this, there's a lot of them, and they dead end. So you want to not get lost on them. Some of them get pretty swampy. So if it seems at all like it's not the main trail anymore, turn back, and hopefully you can use this video to figure out where to go. If I get to any confusing intersections, I'll try and point out which way is the best way to stay on track. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the camera, but I'm gonna record the majority of what's going on in here because it's just so beautiful. Okay, here's our first intersection. We're coming this way. If you go down there, you're gonna run into people and stuff. I get a feeling that shirt laying there may or may not be some kind of a signal that somebody's back there waiting. I don't really know. Yeah, we want to stay going this way. And see here again, that little side trail, I think that will take you to a dead end. It's a little sandy through here. Then we're going to curve off to the left. We want to kind of meander through on the larger trail. This part's a little sandy. Yeah, see, it gets really confusing in there. That path that I just passed over might have been a through path. I'm not really sure. Alright, you know what? I can see right up here. So, yeah, that very last right turn, you could have taken it, and all it was really going to do was snake through the woods and bring us right back over to here. I can see it intersecting again. We could stay on the sand, and I could have kept going straight, but it gets very tiring to walk on the sand. And in here we've got a little shade. Okay, yeah, see, so that last turnoff was actually okay. Yeah, because we could have come, and if you're going the Cherry Grove direction, that one is okay. These just snake back out to the main fire road, the dirt road that goes across. And see, even that long loop to the right would have eventually brought you around to here. So that goes back out that way. And now we're back on track towards the Grove. And again, we've got options. See, this far to the middle, when you're this far towards the road over there, there's a lot of through paths. The dead ends are off of in the trees. Like of course, I'm not 100% positive. I'm relatively certain this path I just got onto is going to. I know this looks like it's a not very often used one, but yep. See, and over here. See, it's complicated. They all lead to the same place, but if you take too many turns off of this one, you end up kind of lost in the woods. So now I'm back on this one. So apparently I made a left, one of those right turns I could have made, and it would have still brought me to here. Now here's one of your dead ends for sure. And I'll just show you what this is like. Oh, this one's cut off by branches. I don't really feel like crawling under that, but if you crawl under that, you'll find a little clearing in the reeds back there. Now I'm just a few feet past the last place. This is a bridge that somebody made through the swampy part. We're just about there. Look at how nice this is. Is up there. Just about through the little trail. You can hear the ocean. No, I can't hear the ocean. I can hear the ocean breeze. And I can hear the bay. And the airplane. Right up here. Get to the end of the trail. Cherry Grove, they have a interesting tradition of naming the houses. I haven't noticed that so much in the Pines, but in the Grove, see, now we're right along the bay, and you can see there's the first house in Cherry Grove. And yeah, I'll show you. A lot of these houses have little names on them. So if you were coming from the Grove, which is that way, kind of see where we are, you would come into the trail here, and you've got your left and right. The trail to the left stays more in the shade. The trail to the right will tangle you out into the dunes, and you have to walk through more sand. So keep that in mind. Probably easiest to take the left trail. And then down here we could see, well, the tide's out a bit, so we can walk around it, but the hurricane wiped out. This used to be Boardwalk in front of us. It kind of connected over there, but it's been wiped out for a long time. And it got wiped out even more after Sandy. And people just kind of shifted the pathway over to here. Walk along. There's houses in the Grove. Yeah, the pathway's done a complete shift. There's some of the boardwalk that fell down. And we just stepped onto the boardwalk in Cherry Grove. And if you're trying to figure out where about we are, it's a Bayview walk. That's Ivy Walk. If you were on one of the other roads out there, you come down Ivy Walk, go Bayview, and it ends there, and follow the trail like we just did. Now we're going to walk this way, and it's about a half mile or something like that into the town of Cherry Grove. Oh, and you'll notice right here, we're going to come up on the first of the named properties in Cherry Grove. I forget, this one's something to do with, there you go, Heaven on Earth. I knew it was something to do with paradise or something. That's Heaven on Earth. Up ahead is the, I forget exactly what it's called. Is it called the Belvedere, or is it just called the Cherry Grove Hotel, or what? But that's the big hotel for men over there. See, it's the same as the Pines, lots of boardwalks. There's several towns over here on Fire Island, but Cherry Grove and Pines are the big party. Let's see, Belvedere. It is Belvedere, a men's guest house. Really nice looking place. But you definitely want to be, better know what you're, if you know what you're after, you'll have an excellent time here, I'm sure. What a beautiful place, huh? Probably not super easy to get a reservation. I mean, they're not astronomical. Again, this East Coast stuff, it's, you know, they're only open a few months a year. It's not California, so stuff is, to me, it all seems relatively affordable. The perfect example. That one is called Back Bay, and this one is called A to Z. It's kind of just a fun thing they do over here. All the houses have their own different names. I guess that's a Cherry Grove thing to do. Now we're coming up on downtown Cherry Grove. Some kids up ahead posting flyers. All kinds of people from the towns next door get jobs over here for the summer. You know, and as you can see, the Grove is a little bit smaller. I mean, you still can't be a poor person and be over here, but these are not quite as extravagant houses, if you can believe that, as the Pines are. See, a little smaller. The Pines is like the super rich upscale, and the Grove is the still incredibly nice, but a little smaller. Just walking around in Cherry Grove. There's the bay right there. We're on the bay side. Coming in towards downtown. As you can see over here, the houses are, everything's just a little bit smaller and older, old-fashioned more. Just kind of little country shacks. Oh, looks like there's a small fire right over there. Ah, here's the fire department. There's an interesting fire truck. Let's take a look at that, huh? There is a Boardwalk ready fire truck. How excellent. There's a little truck that they use for other kinds of work. Some firemen. And we'll take a look. Oh, that's right. They had a big fire in the Ice Palace, which I can hear music. I mean, a good part of the hotel and things are still there, but here's our damage. I'd say you can expect, this is 2015, I'd say 2016, 2017 at the latest, this will all be fixed. There's a bunch of firemen practicing, running drills. And from the sound of it, at least one of the bars is going. Something's always, there's always someplace to go drink and dance in the Cherry Grove and the Pines. Again, you can see here, little old-fashioned seaside houses and buildings, even the stores. And here we are downtown. Sounds of working. This is downtown Cherry Grove. People at the bar, offices, clothing store. They have restaurants both on the bay, and they actually have one on the ocean.
My daddy was talking to you and you're totally walking away from him.
They're 3 days apart.
Here we are. This is the center of town here, and that's the dock. Cherry Grove doesn't have a harbor. They just have a dock, which we might as well go out and look because you'll see the big flags they got flying here. Yeah, the Pines, the harbor is a little nicer. Cherry Grove, we got the dock, the flags. They got the smaller flags this time. 4th of July, they have 2 flags, same flags, but only about 4 times the size. They're gigantic. Got our offices and Dune Point. Here's a bistro, Cherry Grove Market. And this is the whole town. This is the whole business district. You go that way at all and it's stores. It's actually almost the end of Cherry Grove already. We're already almost at the west end. And this is the world famous Ice Palace. Just up that way. The club is up inside there, big club and bar, and I think there's also a hotel attached to it. There's the Grove version. If you're gonna come over here, buy your groceries here. Don't be a loser who carries them on the boat. Come and spend your money here. Excellent pizza over here at the pizza place. Do more than just this. There I am, see? Yeah, that's who's walking around showing you. Once in a while, take a picture of the place. Sometimes people want to see more than just you, you know? I'm sure you're enjoying this, right? Actually looking at the place instead of just seeing your friend's face and having to hear what the place looks like. Now you can actually take a look. And see how narrow the highland is. Just a strip of dune. We are at the beach already. Right up ahead. See, this is one unique thing about the Grove compared to the Pines is the commercial district goes right all the way to the water. So we've got these couple of businesses and this restaurant up ahead, which is fronted right on the water. Yeah, I will keep making fun of people because I have a lot of friends who have been here, and just I've looked for videos when I'm out in California to see this place, and no, very few people seem to be able to film anything but their own face when they're on vacation here. So I'm shooting everything else for me, all my friends who moved away and used to work here. You know, everybody loves this place that's ever been here. So you can get a real look at it here. Yeah, see, look at this. Isn't that nice? And this is fairly reasonably priced for an ocean view. It's not going to cost you $1 million. There we go. This beach is a little more packed. And you can see the houses keep going a little bit that way. You got some wave action. What's amazing too, I'll try and show you later, a lot of these houses have pools. They're right on the ocean and they still have swimming pools. It's so spoiled. Gotta love it. That one is Dune Top. We're right on the ocean. These are the ocean houses. Cherry Grove. It's a little dense through here. Look at this little shack. Pretty neat. We're gonna go down. There's the boardwalk back towards town. And I'm gonna take this little boardwalk back down towards the center of the island again and head back over to the Pines. Yeah, very similar, you know. The Grove. There's Limerick. Foxglove. Every house has, not every house has a name, but a lot of them. Nice gardens. Such a beautiful place to just walk around and enjoy the day. Now this is extra funny, folks. You can see all these little doll heads down here. Last time I was here, it was regular, you know, bald baby doll heads. Now they've switched to Barbie doll heads and some other weird junk. And what's interesting is, now to me, I live in Berkeley. You see this kind of thing in all kinds of people's yards. See, they got some weird heads there. Everybody does weird stuff like this. My paranoid mother and my aunt, her sister, when we first told them about this yard with the baby doll heads, their first reaction was to go straight to, they must be Satan worshippers, which is about as ridiculous as it gets. These are just some people having fun with their front lawn here, and I think it's pretty neat. It's just funny what ideas people get in their heads. Okay, so now here we are on one of the walks in Cherry Grove, the last little walk up towards the ocean. You can, from up here, you can see the bay right out there, Long Island across the bay. So you can see how narrow the island is, because there's the ocean right there. And these are the dunes, and they're covered in this weird mixture of pine and other trees and cedar, and I'm not sure what those are. So the Pines is about a mile that way. And this is what most of Fire Island, you know, it's either straight sand or this. And you can see here, that's pretty much sea level down there. You know, that's maybe 5 or 10 feet above sea level at the boardwalk down there. So I'm only this high up. Let's see. What do you think that is? 10 feet. It looks a little more than 8 feet. It's about 10 feet up. And we can see across everything. That dune there is a little higher, and there are a few places where the dunes are a good 10 feet, 20 feet higher than this, but that's about it. And this long strip just stretches along the shore, along the south shore of Long Island. Fire Island stretches, I think it's like 40 or 50 miles long. It might be even longer than that, but it's all pretty much this narrow. In some places it's a little bit wider, but not by much. Alright, I'm gonna go check out the ocean. So I'm leaving the ocean, heading back, and I'm basically just gonna head back to the Pines and catch a boat and get out of here. It's still midday, and I'll come back again. I got a couple more days, but figured I should mention, if you drop something off the side of one of these boardwalks or something, unless it's really important, you might want to just let it go, because so much of what is on the sides of these boardwalks is poison ivy. See how it's kind of shiny up here, but they're not always shiny. They're not always this big. That's your poison ivy. If you've watched my other videos, you know how much I hate poison oak. You can kind of see, resembles poison oak a little bit there. You can tell by the color, that sickly, awful color. I hate you. So this stuff is everywhere, and it's just mixed into everything. You'll never know it half the time. See how small these leaves are? They can be anywhere from any of those colors. So just don't step off of the boardwalk. It is a fairly unique environment here. Okay, so when you arrive at Cherry Grove from the west, the boardwalk kind of ended over there. You have to walk on the sand a little bit, and there's a gate here, but it's basically just a deer gate to keep the deer from coming from the dunes. And here is the west end of Cherry Grove. Lewis and West, and we're gonna walk downtown. It's so soft. It's very unpleasant to walk on. No shade at all. Yeah, you don't want to end up here. This is let's see what the heck walk. So I figured out Lewis Walk is the east-west walk that is most south in Cherry Grove, and it ends at that dirt road, which if you try to walk to the Pines that way, it's a long way through deep sand. So if you find yourself there and you're on your way to the Pines, You want to come back to here, to Ivy Walk. Cherry Grove's smaller than the Pines. It's narrower, even the island's even narrower down here. So you're going to walk down Ivy Walk here, all the way to the bayside, and then turn right. I'll show you in a little bit. We're just going to keep going straight. Well, that wasn't very far at all. Now we're back down at Bayview Walk. And you recognize this already, right? Here's our path. So again, here, going towards the Pines, if you go that way, now we make a left. They just, even the wrong turns, just lead you back to the right place. So, oh, here, there's two trails. They both go to the same exact place. In the dark, it might be a little confusing, but you'll get there. But that first one is where you want to stay to the right. All the rest of them, either to the left or as straightforward as you can get. And now I know exactly where I am, and this is the right path through. It's so nice. Yeah, see how it's wet down there? Some of those trails dead end in the wet. It just gets to be a pain in the neck. It's a little sandy through here. And then we're going to curve off to the left. And there's another dead end down there. And to the right. And we're basically about 100 yards or so, well, 200 yards from the Pines. That's it, we're back. Wasn't very far at all. Boardwalk starts again right over here, and it's about another 10 minutes, not even, down to the harbor area. You'll be able to see. It looks like it's a long way here because you can't see it, but I would say it's a half a mile at the most. Alright. This might give you an idea of some of the entertainment and pretty cheap really for a house here, but you can only use it 3 months a year, maybe 4. See, there's co-op. I don't know if you can see that, $300,000 for an apartment. And yeah, there's all kinds of different events and shows and huge fundraisers and gigantic parties they have here that go till 6 in the morning. I mean, New York State, everything's open till 4 anyway. The liquor can be served till 4. And then I don't even know what the laws are on a private party, which can be gigantic here. You know, the fundraiser type parties, forget the house parties, just to go for days sometimes. Working in the grocery store, we used to handle all the food for these big parties. I never went to any of the big parties or anything, but we would see, holy cow, would people order a lot of stuff to be ready for all their guests. It was amazing. Carts and carts like this guy would be piled up to the ceiling with ice and soda and stuff. Get over to the side to let them go by. Guess it kind of depends on what kind of person you are or whatever, just how much out of the way you get versus making them stop to let you to get somewhere. They shouldn't run you right off the road, but since I kind of look like another working person more than anything else, they you know, they watch me just jump right over the side. And here we are, we're already at the harbor again. So that took me only about 15 minutes to walk from, no, not even, it took me about 10 minutes to walk from the edge of the woods to the center of town. And I'm back in town and I'm going to take a 2 o'clock boat home. I just came over for a few hours today. And up there's one of their grocery carts. See, that's if you order, if you go into the store and buy groceries, there he went. If you buy your groceries, you can, at the counter, you can tell them you want them delivered. You give them your address, they take your groceries into the back, put them in boxes, and he'll bring them over your house. And he doesn't get paid, so you give him a tip. Give him a nice tip. That's what he depends on. And back here at the stores. Chilling at the pool bar. Mom's in the water. They got some nice beats going. Gotta love this place. I got my Shirley Temple, little non-alcoholic beverage. Everybody's having a good time. Oh, it's beautiful. Here we go. Since the boat's coming, there's a bunch of people in town. And it's funny, every day, every time the boat comes, a crowd gathers here. And then when the boat leaves, it goes dead again. Now it's Friday afternoon. We really got people starting to come in. As soon as they all come off, we all get on. And you pay, if you didn't, I got a round trip ticket. Usually you should get a round trip ticket, but if worst case, if you forgot to get a round trip ticket, you just get on the boat and they will charge you when you get off. So you don't have to bother asking somebody here, what do I do? I don't have a ticket. Just get on the boat and pay when you get off. Alright, there's the harbor. I see quite a crowd. Everyone's excited to be here. The other thing to remember is if you are going back, you just wait out as far back from there until they say going back, and then they'll let us in. We don't need to be pushing up on the people trying to get off, making it more difficult for them to exit. But yeah, wow, Friday afternoon in the summer, it's whatever the closest Friday to July 15th is. Everybody's landing. Oh, coming out around the harbor here in the bayside. That's new to me, this big tower on top of the pantry. That's Wi-Fi and cellular. Hotel. And I'm going to walk around in the bayside west of the harbor now. Alright, low T, high T, and the pool bar is behind those boats in the back. We're walking around on the east of the harbor bayside. I may or may not clip it out where I just said west. I keep getting east and west confused out here. So I'm going to walk around the bayside a little bit, and then we'll walk around the ocean side east of the harbor just a little bit, and I'm going to go in the water and then I go home. So this is now Monday. It's really quiet out here, mostly just workers. Yeah, pretty quiet during the week. We got a barge of some kind out there. Lots of work. Oh, there's actually a truck down there, probably a garbage truck. Here we got one of the really nice houses on the bayside. I think this boat that we can hear has already gotten, yeah, we can't see it anymore, but there are a number of barges that come across to bring supplies and all of the garbage. There's Long Island out there. You can see how gray the sky is, but probably about 85 degrees at least. Yeah, this truck must have had to drive a long way to get here. It's 20 miles to the bridge on a sand road. but they do have to bring supplies in sometimes. Yeah, see these houses. Oh boy. So now I'm gonna go across the main road here, and these worker guys say that truck most likely they could bring it over on a barge, and then it only is driving a little ways here. Probably, you know, if someone moves a large quantity of furniture or something, or even just a bunch of people order things and there's someplace delivers, they might bring a whole truck over, park it just like that. Now I'm walking towards the ocean, and you'll see it's not very far to the ocean. That gray mass out in the front is the haze of the beach. Almost to the beach. This is an empty lot because it's a little bit marshy, although who knows, somebody might build on it eventually. That's some really nice architecture here. See the various levels of silvering on these houses depending on how new the siding is. It's a good example. Wow, look at that. You can see brand new wood next to silvered wood right there. And it's the dunes area. It's a little more open out here. I don't know how it looks to you guys, but it is hot and sticky. So I'm gonna go up here, show you guys the water. Look at this place. But still, compared to California, these are all 1 or 2 million. Not like 10, 15 million in Malibu. This is expensive, but not astronomical. Some decent waves. I'm gonna show you the beach, take off my shoes, walk out down the beach a bit and get in the water. Warm sand, a lot of people down there. It goes a long way. This beach is, like I said, 50, 60 miles. And what's kind of funny is one of the deceptive things that happens is because the beach is so long, it sort of looks like there's a crowd of people down there from where I'm standing, and there's a lot of wind behind us, so I'm going to look this way for a minute. But to my left, it looks like there's a crowd of people. I'll show it to you. But really, it's just a bunch of spread out people that appear to be crowded together because of it's the optical illusion of looking that way. So, out that way is the beach. Walk in the ocean a little bit. Water's warm. It's perfect. The ocean is out there. Might be a little grayed out. Walking along one of the boardwalks on the ocean side here. Ocean walk. Beach that way. harbor that way. That's how close we are to the water on Ocean Walk. A little bit of noise from a power washer, sorry about that. Look at this fantastic place. Brand new wood and silvered wood. It only takes about a year or two for it to start turning gray. Just can't avoid it with the salt. It looks nice. Pretty quiet out here on them. It's a Tuesday, I guess, actually, today. So, yeah, it's really quiet out here. Back at the bayside. Baywalk again. What a way to get around town, huh? Not just the carts, walking or on the carts, but boardwalks. No streets, no traffic lights. There is the sound of equipment and boats going back and forth. Airplanes. They do mosquito fogging out here with helicopters once a month or so. But a lot more peaceful and quiet than bustling Long Island right across the bay, 6 miles over there to the north. Everything is built up on these posts, everything is lifted up off of the sand. Nobody has a basement here. We're on the dunes. Dig down and you just hit water. Rich Coyne grew up across the street from me. He was a few years older than me, and first he worked in the Grove grocery, then he worked in the Pines Pantry for a number of years, and then he started doing carpentry over here, which is, you know, more, he's showing off his skills finally instead of just working in a store. And look at that, folks. Rich, I hope you see this. Folks, yeah. Call this guy if you need stuff done. I can't believe it. That is awesome. I wasn't sure if he was working for himself or working for somebody else, but wow. Yeah, we're almost back to the harbor. And yeah, Rich Coyne, he helped me get my first job here. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Rich Coyne, I never would have known how beautiful this place was, how much fun it is to be over here. Being a kid in the 80s and early 90s, the stupid things that you hear about over here, most people are afraid to come over here. So yeah, if you're liking this video, we owe a big thanks to Rich Coyne as well. So if you're having any work done on your house or need a house built, call him up. Alright. Here's a shot of the houses. I'm leaving from my first trip over here. Make a few trips. The boat is cranking up. It takes about 20 minutes to cross the bay.